I just want to see my kid. That's all I'm asking for.
Who was at the house tonight when you...
I don't know, you... I'm talking to asking you that. Get out! Give me the charge and bring me to prison, alright?
Checking that, okay? Please sit down. I'm going to check on it for you, okay? Just trying to find out what happened tonight. That's all I'm asking you right now.
What do you think, I'm stupid? I'm signing nothing. Give me my charge, whatever you want to give me.
I told you...
You ask me again, I'm going to rip your head off. Get out. You keep asking me, what do you want me to tell you? I just told you I snapped. I don't see my kids. Alright? You know what they
I understand very well that you're upset.
Literally would have been Sarah Boone if her interrogation had gone on for one more hour and she had had just one more drink before the interrogation. Okay. I personally want to know what that table and all that was made out of, because if they made cars out of that, literally everybody would survive every car wreck from here on out. Okay, y'all, all the buckle up. Go ahead and do it because you're going to need it for this. This was a very requested video, the interrogation that I look at. Now, I'm going to say this before we even get into it. This case is very trigger warning. As you see, this guy is very violent. This is a DV case that went very, very, very wrong, okay? So know that going into it. If it's not your vibe, there's that. This is like a 5+ hour interrogation, okay? And this man goes from A to B. And one thing that is prevalent through this is he has zero chill, a lot of rage, and he is not shy about saying why he did what he did. Now you might be like, Paul, who is this? What's going on? Who was Clifford at Christmas? What is all this mess? Well, I'm about to tell you.
Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad, sipping from the cup at hey.
Now hold on everybody, let's do a quick sofa sidebar now. Keep in mind, ain't no cop, ain't no doctor, ain't no lawyer, ain't no therapist, ain't none of that fancy credentialed stuff, okay? Only credentials we got up in here is my sass, and this sofa. Now keep in mind also, I'm just giving my opinions on very public information, so do your own research, come to your own opinions, and drop them off in the comment section. And while you're down there, if you do like what you see here at the Sofa Squad, drop a little like, drop a little comment, drop a little share. It helps the channel out immensely. Now let's get edition. So on Christmas Eve 2013, Clifford Burns was seriously ticked off about the divorce proceedings that he was going through and paying child support. He would make an hour-long trip to Lake Luzerne, New York, where he would launch a brutal, rage-fueled attack on his estranged wife, Patricia Burns. He would kill her in front of one of their daughters. He would, Teddy, you're going to hear that name over and over and over. This was Patricia's boyfriend. He was injured during the rampage, but would survive. And others, kids were injured during this as well. He would flee the scene, but was arrested shortly after. Now, this is where we enter here, and we're seeing the ramifications of what went down here. So again, just keep in mind these names. Patricia's who he's going to be talking about, obviously the estranged wife. And when he starts talking about Teddy, this is who it's like, who's Teddy? Who's Teddy? Teddy is a central character, and this dude blaming everyone under the sun but his own rage for what he did.
The investigator that comes in and talks to you, I'm sure he's going to be reasonable. We'll take the cuff off your left hand.
Yes, sir. I love my daughters. I haven't seen them in 8 months because of 2 court orders. And you know, it's Christmas time. When is the man I snap?
I love my daughters. Okay, but you just killed the mother in front of them, right? Now again, I don't know all the particulars between him and Patricia and the history and the this and the child support, the da. If you listen to him throughout these clips, though, you'll quickly learn. Bro has zero accountability in this, okay? And has never had any, okay? Like, this was literally like he snapped, and maybe he did snap, right? I mean, clearly, right? One thing that I sit here and think about watching this interview, it's just like the first clip we watched, I'm like, what was it like at his household when dinner wasn't cooked right? When the kids wouldn't be quiet while he's trying to focus on TV or whatever? When he had a crappy day at work? When they didn't have money to cover a light bill? Like, I'm making this stuff up, right? Just basic stuff is what I'm getting at, right? Like things that you might cover, like just happen in your household. The rage that this man exhibits is absolutely frightening. Now, Clifford would claim, like we said, that he snapped, right? Either knowingly, unknowingly, whatever. This would tee up what would become his defense. defense. At trial, Burns's team would argue that his actions were a crime of passion, ultimately contending that his unrestrained ire was due to the breakup of his marriage and being a, quote, father pushed too far by financial stress and family court, end quote.
Clifford, we don't want to hurt anybody.
I don't want to either. Do you understand what a man goes through, officer?
Just look straight in your hand.
I spend $250 a week on child support and couldn't see my kids because she lonely. Her and Teddy Bakus put a court order against me.
This is the start of Teddy. Just brace yourselves. Don't take a shot every time he says Teddy, you'll be dead by the end of the video. If it's coffee, maybe, but you won't sleep for 3 days, I'm telling you. You're gonna hear Teddy's name throughout this over and over and over. Now you heard him say, I paid $250 a week for the kids. Imagine the kids in this man's care. And again, I don't know him, so we're just going based on like, you know, whatever. People get angry, people get upset. We're all human, we do this, I get it, right? But I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, if this is the rage that is displayed, and mind you, he's just killed people, right? So there's that. But regardless, if this is the rage that's displayed in front of police officers, who knows what it was like at home? And it's just like, can you imagine sending your kids over to his house? There's no way. You wouldn't want to. You would play things. So my whole thing with him is the thing that he's talking about of like family court did this and family court did that. And I have no doubt that some people weaponize family court, okay? This is not to say that does not happen, right? 100% that goes both ways. But in this case, what I've seen is I'm just like, they're lucky that the kids weren't killed in the process. Many people, kids got hurt in this whole situation. Obviously, Patricia lost her life. They're lucky the kids are still alive because this is the type of dude right here that's gonna be like, oh, I can't have my kids? Well, I'm gonna get back at you, the mother. We often see this times, and I can't remember this case, but y'all help me out here. It's in Georgia. Heartbreaking case where the father did that, where he killed the babies, and she was on the phone. I feel like her name was like Amber. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Drop in the comments if you know it, but it was a heartbreaking case. We followed it years ago. This reminds me of that, where this was probably headed to. Obviously, he took it out on the estranged wife and, you know, Teddy and whatnot, but this could have gone in so many other directions too. Now, like I said, you're gonna wanna go ahead and buckle your seatbelts up even more, because this is where we're gonna get into the hardcore, this is Teddy's fault, as well as pretty much everything else in his life is Teddy's fault.
Today, family court calls my lawyer and says there's a warrant out for my arrest for missing 2 payments in the middle of the winter. I have nothing to live for. I'm living in a one-room apartment. She took everything from me on it, so.
The clip we watched first was like deeper into the situation. So they're bringing him in the room and uncuffing him and doing all this. Not uncuffing him, but just getting him situated there at the table, right? But that time where he like turned him around, the cop turned him around and did that. Can you imagine? Because look at what they just picked him up from, right? This crazy murders. Now, also listen to what he's saying here. You know, oh, I got a thing, you know, they're going to arrest me, this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 because I did this. And again, like I said, there is a difference between a level-headed person, oftentimes the male, but can be the female as well, who knows what happened, right? Say family court has been weaponized against them. And it's like, well, what good does it do when I'm in jail? I can't pay the bill. I can't pay child support now. Whatever's going on. But it's like, well, how do we get there? Every case is unique. But in what he is trying to do in this case specifically is take on this role of, and this is just my, you know, unprofessional opinion, where he's almost like, well, I'm the man in this situation, so I'm going to be, you know, I'm the head of the house. I might not bring anything to the table to actually be a man, but, you know, I deserve that respect and all that goes with it, you know. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not how that works. Because 60 seconds into this, I'm like, oh, absolutely take the children away from this person. This is frightening. This is frightening. God knows what went on beforehand. So him sitting here doing the whole, oh, I get a call today, and you can tell that this is what's put him over the edge. I'm getting arrested. I'm going to, you know, going to jail. Whatever the case is, I'm done. I've snapped. And now everyone's going to pay the price, but it's not my fault. It's everybody else's fault. And you'll hear, and I haven't even put these in here, a lot of this stuff, y'all, because literally this man goes on like some severely racist tirades throughout this whole thing. He's very much trying to appeal to the officers and that they're Irish and he's Irish and blah, 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 and like all this type of stuff. And like with the officers, you're listening to him, and it's just like, I was surprised by how much the officers, I mean, granted, he's cuffed to the table, right? But how they just were kind of like, yeah, okay, let him, they were just kind of like letting him go off. And I'm like, would you treat everybody like this? Because the way he was behaving, I don't care if he's cuffed or not, was insane to me, right? I was just like, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy what he is doing and going off on these officers and whatnot. Now, mind you, also, they're trying to get information. They want him to talk. They want him to confess. They want him to say, I just snapped. I just did this. This is why I did it, because they're obviously building the case up.
I know my rights and everything. You don't have to even read it. Just give me my charges. I'm pleading not guilty, and I want to be put in a cell.
Okay, you have the right to remain silent and to refuse to answer any questions. Anything you do say can be used against you in a court of law.
Well, maybe he should have actually listened to those Miranda rights, because he spills the tea all over himself in this about there is no question left when this interrogation is done. Is honestly given to, I swear to God, y'all, this is like Sarah Boone if she had had a few more years to simmer in that bottom shelf wine, okay? Like, this is like where we would be at. These two should become prison pen pals, right? They probably deserve each other. He can sit here and mansplain everything to her, and she can sit here and Sarah-splain everything to him. But you also hear him like, just go to read me rights and plead not guilty, give me the cell. Like, he's like, I know this routine. We're done. Obviously, the cops have to read him. They have to go through this, right? Can you imagine him getting off because they didn't read the rights? Please.
Well, I'm going to tell you what happened. My ex-wife put a court order against me. Teddy Bakus went over in the house and shot the house up with a gun and got all misdemeanors because you suckers are corrupt in Warren County, and you know you are. It was an apartment complex with kids in it. An unregistered illegal handgun, and he gets all misdemeanors. That's what I want to do to her face. Right up with a knife.
Y'all, again, you saw the way that he was leaned into the office. He's like, because you know what suckers are this. I'm like, and the officer's just sitting there. Now, mind you, the guy's handcuffed. I mean, granted, I would expect officers to handle this, right? Not like a civil, I would be like, oh my God, I don't want to be here. They've signed up for this job. They're used to dealing with this volatileness is what I'm getting at. Did you hear him saying, like, slit in her face? And the Teddy thing. They shot the house up. They did this. Y'all are corrupt. Blah, blah, blah. You see this whole thing. He is fixated. And what this also says to me is I'm like, oh, this dude has been sitting here and stewing and stewing and stewing over this whole thing, okay? And it was never going to end well. And this is one of the things that we see with domestic violence cases too much. And it can come in varying flavors where it's like nothing can be done until someone is severely harmed or a life is lost, okay? Gabby Petito, this. Just think of, and from talking to many of you in the comment sections and getting to know you, many people have had a situation like this. Imagine this guy unhinged, like just on the streets. You think a little, court order saying you can't go to the house or do this or that or whatever. I'm not saying he had that in this situation, but you think that stops somebody like this in their rage? Absolutely not. When he was doing that right there at the thing, I just imagined him at the kitchen table at home, talking to one of the kids, talking to Patricia, whoever, right? It could be, I didn't get the answer right on my homework, but like that level. And this is just the vibe watching it, like not even looking at him eye to eye. I can't fathom what that was like to be like right here with this man and him coming at you with that level of rage, not restrained to the table.
Do you know when a woman snaps you and keeps your kids away from you, what it does to a man? That you work and pay for your kids your whole life? Then the Bakus brothers rigged the charges when the guy goes over and shoots my old lady's house up and beats the fuck out of her, and he gets misdemeanors, you suckers. You motherfucker. You know what happened up there. All misdemeanors, 9 of them, when he shot the house up with an unregistered handgun. Do you know who Teddy Bakus is? I know you know who he is. He's a if I ever could get my hands on him, I'd kill him. I'm a man in every aspect, motherfucker. The fucking game.
How does he not break his arm when he does that? You see him pull that whole table up. This is where he starts getting like all up in it or whatever. And not starts, but you know what I'm saying? The officers start moving all the stuff off the table. Calm as can be. These dudes are just sitting there. Tell us about Teddy. Now you're going to see detectives come in later who worked on the Teddy Bakus case, okay? This is like a whole sideline to the situation. And he is absolutely upset, triggered, PO'd, you name it. It has absolutely wrecked his world. I think he's looking at it like, oh, he defiled my woman. That's my wife. Like, he probably looks at Patricia as a possession and not a human being. And the fact that she has another man with her is like eating him alive before you even get into anything else. And especially having the kids around, whatever. And he's over here paying this money and doing this and doing that. And most likely, and again, without even knowing them, because some of y'all might be very familiar with this case, and be like, oh no, Paul, well, Teddy and Patricia came back and did blah, 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 or whatever, right? So let's pretend, like, put them to the side. We don't know if they did anything, like, whatever. They're just, let's say, victims in this case, okay? Say they're over here. Their motive operandi is to keep the kids away from this monster. He doesn't see himself as a monster is what I'm getting at. So whether Patricia and Teddy did anything that would be like that a normal person would say, yeah, that would probably instigate this or that or whatever, irrelevant, right? This dude's a monster. He doesn't know he's a monster. He just wants access to the kids, this, that, and the other. Any normal person can see this dude doesn't need to, like, this is insane, right? This guy, like, there's a reason we're in this situation. He would interpret anything they did as that, because it's like he's viewing all of these people and things as possessions, as things. I would argue to say, without even knowing the in-depth part to it, it's more about the goal of getting access to the children than the children themselves. It's the idea and the concept of, you know, you hear him say, you know what this does to a man when you do this, you do that, and I can respect what he's saying, but I'm not buying that he truly cares about these people, because I'm just like, if you truly cared about these people, I don't think we would be where we're at today.
He got 9 misdemeanors because of his brother. Beat my old lady up, put her in the hospital. My kid was home. Get him in here and put me in the room with both. I beat the out of him. He ran like a cow and a snake, and his brothers are 2 pieces of shit.
Okay.
Can you imagine that man coming at you? I mean, that is pure, just testosterone fueled rage. Now, you heard him talking about, like, oh, he got off on these misdemeanors. He did this, he did that, blah, 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 blah. You know, he's very tuned up about this. Whatever took place, whatever little favors were done from Teddy's, you know, family members, whatever, they're on the force and whatnot, or whatever it was, put that aside, right? We're not examining that right now. We're just looking at this. If this is the case, nobody likes that to be done, right? Nobody wants to see somebody break the law and they have, you know, oh, my brother's a prosecutor, or my brother's a cop, or this or that, or whatever. People want to see them held accountable. Look at the Crystal Rogers case, right? It took years to get accountability in that. And still, even then, there's other people in that case that still need to be brought to justice, in my little humble opinion. But, I mean, when I watched this, so I grew up around a father who had anger, okay? I'm talking, whoa, mama, yama. And it was not to this level, maybe. I mean, it was not like a physical, you know, kind of a thing, or like getting abused or something like that. Emotional, verbally, sure, yeah, absolutely. But I've been talked to borderline like this by my father, okay? And you learn, so I look in a lot of these cases that we watch, especially like if you follow me for a while, and the Montgomery case, Adam Montgomery, that case really hit home because it triggered me in such this way of being like, oh my gosh, when he reached over the seat and was punching her, like, that poor little thing. But I view a lot of these situations like this and these men who are rage fueled like this through my own experience of dealing with my father. And what it was like to walk around on eggshells at the house over his anger. And his anger would come at the drop of a hat. It could be anything. Being older now and looking back on it, you know, you realize where it's like, oh, it wasn't me, it was a miserable human being, right? But you don't know that as a kid. So I look at my own experience of that, and then clearly this is another level. You know, he's talking about like, oh, my kids were at home. The man just killed his estranged wife in front of the kids, but he's over here talking ish about Teddy shooting up the house, doing this, like, and the kids were home, blah, 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 you know, and it's like, okay, got it, but where are we at, right? And then the way that when he sits here and screams in their face, that part like literally triggers me, because again, with the dad thing and all that, and I'm just like, oh my God, I know that fear. And that's where I think of the children, because I'm like, I know what that fear is like. I know what it's like to be yelled at, so you can feel the windows rattling, their voice is so loud and they're shaking and their veins are popping out, and you don't know know what's going to happen, right? And that's where I'm just like, oh my God, and it holds a family hostage. You know, I mean, it did with us, because you're always on edge. You're always walking around on eggshells. And so that's where my heart goes out in these cases when I think of the wife, the victim, the children, people like that, is I have this empathy towards what they probably lived through. And again, I'm not trying to sit here and say, well, I had someone like this, so I know what their experience was like. No, because I can assure you that this situation was way worse than what I lived through. I'm still alive, right? You know what I'm saying? Patricia's dad. My dad never physically harmed me like he did these kids and whatnot. So that part just absolutely freaks me out. And again, you just go to it with these domestic violence situations. And it's like, this is what happens, and nothing is done and nothing happens until this happens.
I love my children. Right here, motherfucker, Irish, and you suckers are Irish, and you let this motherfucker walk?
We didn't let him do anything.
But his brothers did.
I'm sorry, y'all. Oh my God, yeah, how do we arrive here? The way he keeps calling them block suckers to their face, we're probably bleeping the word out, so do with that what you will, is like for rhyming, okay? The way they don't say anything. And I don't expect them to, right? Because I almost like he's like drunk or something, right? If he's not, like he's drunk on rage. Like the way he just refers to them, it's like their first names. Yeah, and you block suckers, you block suckers do that. And they're just in there. We didn't do anything. And again, I get what they're doing. They're just doing their job. They have an absolute psychopath sitting in front of them who just murdered his wife in front of the kids. And he's like going off over here. And he's completely fixated on this situation. And it's just like, you know, when people get fixated like this, you make your own reality, right? And there can be kernels of truth in something. And there can be the dynamic of two things are true at one time. Somebody might have done something crappy over here. It's like, did you really have to do that? It doesn't mean that you kill them in front of their children. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying she did anything, but I mean, using this as the example. So it's like, maybe Teddy did do something over here. Maybe it was bad. Okay, but the answer is not to go over and shoot everybody up in front of your kids and harm kids in the process. That's not how this should work.
You did that down in Albany, you still wouldn't be out of jail today. They would have fucked you up. This is the Wild West, man, and I'm a wild motherfucker, ain't I now?
Moments like this, and I get it's scary in person, like I just said, you know, whatever. And one reason, you know, I'll take this moment to say this. One reason why you'll see me find levity and darkness is because I had to do that to survive, right? That's what I did growing up, is when things are this serious in your house over a spilled drink, you have to learn to laugh or you will cry your eyes out, right? And so that's a huge part of where I come from with finding levity in these situations. And so it's not that I'm like, oh, ha, 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 victim was hurt, victim died. But their behavior is so over the top, because that's how I dealt with my own thing growing up. Is I can remember sitting there and looking at my father's behavior and seeing this kind of stuff right here and this kind of behavior and being like, I'm never going to get to be that cynical and bitter. I'm never going to stop laughing, right? I was like, I'm going to always find humor in life in some way. And this is not to say that I haven't become cynical and bitter, trust me, right? You know, but I always seem to find that. So sitting here laughing at him like, it's a Wild Wild West out here. I'm like, this dude takes himself so serious, okay? And it's so gratifying to see him like restrained, because again, what he's done is bullied and held his family hostage with this behavior. And now he's finally locked up. How do you think, well, I was gonna say, how do you think this man's time in prison is going? You already know what clique he joined with, okay? Day one, if not is already, okay? So you already know who he's gonna be rolling with when he gets to prison. That mouth right there though, unless he's rolling with some clique, you know, a gang, AKA gang, that kind of mouth, honey, unless he can back it up, but I'm just like, yeah, dude, this kind of temper, woo, someone's gonna check that real fast.
How old are you?
36.
36. I'm 46, brother. My life's over.
Well, I hate for you to feel that way.
So again, imagine Sarah Boone saying it. How old are you? 36. Well, I'm 47. My life's over. And I also like long walks on the beach. And then the officer, and can't you hear the officer, I don't remember her name, drop in the comments if you know, who interviewed Sarah in the interrogation video. Can't you just hear her saying, well, I'm sorry for you to feel that way. I love it. I absolutely love it. And yes, your life is over, as it should be.
watching her, my kids calling up saying she's drunk all the time, different men coming home, her in my bed. I had $10,000 of brand new furniture I gave the What more do you want? How much you want to kick the fucking thing? She bought a cigarette on me every day. It's Christmas, my third Christmas alone, third Thanksgiving. Well, now, motherfucker, it's time to party.
It's time to party. Also, with dudes like this, everything's a dollar amount. I have $10,000 in furniture, $250 here, $250, and I'm just like, okay, I get. I'm not trying to sit here and be like, oh, things cost money, or I understand it, right? Not from him specifically, but I get like the theory, or if you want to go with that. What I'm getting at is this: I have not heard 1 minute of, and granted, this is limited in scope, so there's that. I have not heard, and I'm making this up. I didn't get to see my kid first day of first grade. I didn't get to hear about my kid's last day of school. I didn't get to see my kid open a present under the tree. I didn't get to have dinner. Everything's a monetary. Everything is a transactional. Everything is a possession. Everything is owed to. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm not hearing, there's no soul to this. I don't know another way to say it. It's all about money. It's all about power. It's all about control.
Listen, you lucky I'm in my right mind because I was going to have a shootout with you. But I did it the right way. I handled it like a man, so thank you.
Thank you.
No, that's right. If I'm pretty goddamn good.
I handled it like a man, and I did it the right way. Okay. You just killed the mother of your children in front of them, but gotcha. Right. We're going to put that in our books of, high value male qualities we're looking for in a partner. Okay. This guy is infuriating.
You didn't hear, you guys are pissing on my back and telling me it's raining if you didn't hear what happened last year at this time.
I didn't hear all the details. I heard about him getting arrested, but I didn't know how it turned out.
He shot the house up with a gun and beat the out of her. He got all misdemeanors.
See, I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear it?
No.
That's what his charges were, 9 misdemeanors. Cuomo is on top of everything. The unregistered handgun was a pistol at 22. He shouldn't even be out of jail now, and he's out running the streets.
We're back to Teddy again. Okay, now, y'all, this is all alleged. This is all, very quick overview type thing. But the Teddy thing, remember, Teddy was the boyfriend after him. You already know what kind of vibe is going to go down with a dude like this, okay? You already know what kind of vibe. So this ate him up, right? So a lot of Cliff's resentment, all this, obviously, it focused on Patricia and then painting Teddy as the other man who kind of stepped into the life. Like, you see this happen a lot of times, right? Now, the whole thing about shooting the house up, doing this never happened, okay? Teddy didn't do it. Cliff was super paranoid, like, obviously, enraged, all this type of stuff. And so he would say that Teddy did a lot of stuff that just didn't happen. But the whole thing of the house getting shot up, it did happen, but it was Cliff that did it. So this whole thing going on here is like, this is the delusion we're living in, right? Or not we, but you know what I'm saying, that we're watching play out and whatnot, is this. So Teddy wasn't like this, evil, oh my gosh, I've stepped in, whatever. This was just somebody that the wife was going out with, the estranged wife, Patricia, the victim, was going out with. And this dude right here couldn't handle it. And you can obviously see why. If he couldn't have Patricia, nobody was ever going to.
That last year when the shit happened with the gunshots. I asked you guys for help all the way, and you down my throat. You told me to handle it myself. I prayed to God I handle it to myself. I rid the devil of the planet tonight.
You want to know how that went over in court? Okay. Well, I can tell you this. He ain't free today, okay? This was, even though it's infuriating to watch, this is like one long confession. Hours long confession, okay? So again, it's funny to listen to, him call the cops block suckers and this and that, and them just kind of be like completely nonchalant, but it worked, right? This man just kept talking and talking and talking and talking, kind of like I knew.
These guys, they're just peons like I am in life. You're high up.
Sir, I'm not high up.
You're a detective, aren't you?
I'm a criminal investigator.
Criminal investigator. Did you ever invest a Bakus that happened a year ago?
I was involved in it, yeah.
You were involved with it? You mother...
Well, sit out.
But, sir, you got to understand...
You covered the charges up.
No, sir, you got the wrong... Sir.
Okay, so legit, do we think that he would be acting this way if he wasn't held back? You know, people who want to try and start a fight and then they're like getting behind their friends, like, hold me back, bro, hold me back, bro. And it's like, no, well, go on, you started it. Let's see this play out. Go on, see what the officers will do. And they know that, right? I mean, they all have guns, for God's sakes, right? It's just like, come on, what are you going to do here, buddy? Like, big talker, big talker. I can almost assure you he's gotten his ass handed to him in prison several times. Had to have, right? Probably by his own people, you know what I'm saying? So reframing back, you see off in the corner, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a detective in there who's like, yeah, I worked on the investigation, and that's where he's losing it, like, oh yeah, you blog sucker, yeah, you can let him walk free, you can let him do this. And the cops are probably like, we've gotten so many phone calls from all these people, because you know that Clifford is in here blowing the cops up, talking about Teddy this, Teddy that, and then Teddy and Patricia are probably calling legitimately trying to be protected, like, this guy's crazy, something bad is going to happen. Well, he hasn't stepped foot over here, well, he hasn't done this, well, he hasn't done, and I'm making that part up, but I'm just saying, like, this is how this goes a lot of times, and it's like, okay, so I guess we're just sitting ducks at this point.
From your house?
Go f*** yourself. How the f*** do you think I got here? Flew or walked? My car's right out my park. Are you stupid?
No, I'm not stupid, sir. I'm just trying to find out. I just got...
Find out this. You're corrupt suckers and this is the Wild West. What's my charge?
For whatever reason in my mind, I have fixed it, like, and I haven't even thought about this, even like going through the clips beforehand. I don't know why, but I just see Sarah Boone doing this. I just, like, when he does that stuff, like, how the F do you think I got here? My car's outside, you block sucker. I mean, it's giving Sarah Boone, you know, on steroids or whatever. Okay, I cannot with this.
No misdemeanors? And the SWAT team comes? Look, you can't even, I'll wipe that smirk off your face, mother. You ever laugh at me again? No, you're smiling like you think it's funny.
I don't, sir.
You just smile.
I'm upset.
I'm upset.
Honey, I want it last. This man would have killed me, because if he's getting upset, he's like, you're laughing at me. It's like, I'm sorry. This is funny though. It's like, you keep calling me a block sucker. You know, you're jumping up, you're doing that, you're changing the thing. I think you just urinated. I mean, it's, you know, I'm sorry. It's just how I handle stress. I kind of, you know, awkwardly laugh. I apologize, sir. You know, don't kill me.
I just want to see my kids. That's all I'm asking for.
Who was at the house tonight when you...
I don't know, you... Get out! Give me the charge and bring me to prison, alright?
Checking that, okay? Please sit down. I'm going to check on it for you, okay? Just trying to find out what happened tonight. That's all I'm asking you right now.
What do you think, I'm stupid? I'm signing nothing. Give me my charge, whatever you want to give me.
I told you...
You ask me again, I'm going to rip your head off. Get out. You keep asking me, what do you want me to tell you? I just told you I snapped. I don't see my kids. All right? You know what they have.
I understand very well that you're upset.
Now, also this, like, the whole Sarah Boone part of this, like, he's wearing himself out, right? He's throwing the tantrum. I just want to see my kids. No, you don't. Literally zero control over his emotions. It's like, no, you don't. You just you just hurt them and killed the mother in front of them. So this is not going to happen. He knows this. But also he was like, get out, get out. I mean, he's telling the cop to get out of the interrogation room. Now, also the whole thing where he's like, give me my charge or send me to prison or whatever. To me, it's interesting how he's trying to control the situation by almost being like, I know I want A or B in this situation. Either I'm not signing this, give me my charge, or get me out of here, do this. But he keeps it going by obviously talking. If he sat here and just did this right here, like, I want my lawyer, this conversation's over, book me, and did not open his mouth again, they would quickly tire of it. They would be like, okay, well, here we go. We're done. You know, there's nothing else to happen here, right? And they would, you know, move it along. But obviously he is doing what he's doing. Now, we already heard how he says several times that he snapped, right? And this would foreshadow his crime of passion defense. However, interestingly enough, Teddy, the so-called man who ruined his life, would be the one to also ruin his defense. He would testify against Clifford Burns and tell the jury first-hand details about the attack. His survival and testimony were critical in dismantling the crime of passion defense claim.
I can't take it no more. I lost it. I don't even know how to got up here. I ain't got no gas in my car. I'm down to no money. I got no food.
I don't know what you want me to do when I got a lady violate me on Christmas Eve, and I don't even see the kids. I don't know anymore. What the f*** do you want out of me, you stupid motherfuckers? I can't take it. Put me in the jail, so lock evidence. I don't care no more. I lost everything as a man.
I mean, whoa. Okay, this is just somebody who literally has said, you can tell this man has fixated on these thoughts and simmered and like just stewed for however long. If there's substance abuse going along with it, if there's, you know, and I'm only seeing that in the context of like that just adding to him living in this very small world where he's just going over and over and over and becoming delusional and paranoid and like making these scenarios up that are happening. So don't worry, because Cliff would not get his wish of being shot or done with or whatever. He got his other wish, and it's called prison. In 2014, a jury would convict him of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 23 years in prison. He will be eligible for parole in 2036. But due to the heinousness of it, due to just all the things we've seen, I think we can all be rest assured, at least hopefully, that he will be spending many, many Christmases behind bars. That's our Clifford at Christmas time today, okay? Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If there's other interrogations or interviews like this that you want me to cover or make commentary on, things of that nature, drop in the comment section down below. I'll check them out. We'll see what's going on with them. Okay. My heart goes out to Patricia. My heart goes out to Teddy. My heart goes out to the children. You know, I hope they've been able to put their lives back together. Obviously, it's somebody that's lost, but putting your life back together as best as possible from this and moving on, if you will. You don't really move on. You carry these scars forever, obviously, including Patricia, who's no longer here. But, you know, when you lose a parent and you see that happen, I can't imagine. So my heart goes out to everybody involved in this, except for Cliff, obviously, right? So anyways, if you're still watching, I greatly appreciate it. And if you could, while you're doing that stuff in the comment section that I asked you to do all that sofa homework, if you could drop some little pillows off for Roscoe and Spirit, Bo and Luke, who are at my feet, myself, and you, the most important, the Sofa Squad, who makes the channel possible. It wouldn't be here without you, and I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We're trying to get to 155,000, and we'll do it together. That is it, everybody. Until we see y'all in the comment section, hanging out on those sofas down there, I'll see y'all soon.
I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now, don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Roscoe on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey, welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that hey, come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.